There is a sentence you have been walking around for most of your life. You have circled it. You have almost said it out loud, late at night, and then decided it sounded arrogant, or insane, or blasphemous, and you put it back down. Here it is. The thing you have been praying to has been listening from inside your own chest. Not near you. Not above you. Not watching you from somewhere else, deciding whether you have earned an answer yet. Inside. Looking out through your eyes. Using your hands. Waiting, with a patience you would not believe, for you to stop asking where it is. I am not going to soften that for the next half hour. I am going to take it apart with you, carefully, until it stops sounding like a slogan and starts sounding like a description of your Tuesday. And I am going to be honest with you about the part nobody says out loud, that this is not entirely good news. Remembering what you are costs you every excuse you have ever used. If you want the comfortable version, there are 10,000 videos about the universe sending you signs. This is not that. Stay. Let me say it without the poetry, so there is no confusion about what is being claimed. You are not a person who occasionally has spiritual experiences. You are the thing itself, awareness, the same awareness that is looking out of every other pair of eyes, currently wearing a body, a name, a childhood, and a set of fears that feel completely convincing from the inside. That is the claim. Not that you are special. The opposite, actually. Not that you are better than the people who annoy you. The same as them. Identical. That is far more disturbing than being chosen, and we will get to why. And notice, you did not need this explained to you. Some part of you went quiet just now. Not excited. Quiet. The way a room goes quiet when someone finally says the true thing. That quiet is the recognition. Hold on to it, because your mind is about to start arguing, and the argument will be very convincing. The obvious objection comes first, so let us handle it first. If you are what I just said you are, why do you not know it? Why the doubt? Why the crying in the car? Why the sheer ordinariness of your life? Because the forgetting is not a malfunction. It is the mechanism. Think about what you already understand about this without me telling you. You have watched a film knowing it was a film. You enjoyed it. And you have been so far inside a film that you forgot you were sitting down, and that one changed you. The difference was not the story. The difference was that you let go of yourself. Nothing real can be learned from a game you know you cannot lose. Take the risk out of love and you get nothing. Take the stakes out of courage and there is no such thing as courage. Take death out of a life and every choice inside it becomes weightless. So the divine did the only thing that would work. It agreed to forget. Fully. Not a partial dimming, a total commitment. It walked into a body with no memory of what it was, no guarantee, no exit, and it let itself be frightened. That is you. That is the whole of you, right now. You are the part of God that agreed to not know, so that the finding out would be real. Sit with what that reframes. Every time you have called yourself spiritually behind. Every time you decided you must be doing it wrong because you still feel afraid. The fear was in the design. The not knowing was the entry fee. You were never failing at remembering. You were succeeding at forgetting, which was the assignment, and you have now started to come out the other side, which is why you are listening to this instead of scrolling past it. I do not want you to believe me. Belief is thin and it collapses on a bad day. I want you to check. So we are going to look at things you already know about yourself, and I am going to suggest a different reading of them. The first one. Nothing has ever been enough. You have got things you wanted. Genuinely wanted, worked for, waited on. And there was a window, a week, maybe a month, where it satisfied you. And then the floor of your life quietly returned to where it had always been. You have decided this means you are ungrateful, or broken, or that you chose wrong. Nothing finite satisfies something infinite. It cannot. It is a category error. That restlessness you have been apologizing for your whole life is the most accurate instrument you own. It is not dissatisfaction. It is scale, recognizing, correctly, that none of this is the size of you. The second one. You have always felt slightly outside it. Even in rooms where you were welcome. Even with people who love you. A pane of glass you could not name, and a suspicion that if they saw all the way in, they would find something that did not belong here. You called that loneliness. You possibly called it a personality defect. It is accuracy. Something in you keeps reporting that this is not your native environment, and it is right. You have been reading a correct signal as a fault. The third one, and this is the one people go quiet at. You already know things before you are told them. Not always. Not usefully. But there is a knowing that arrives ahead of the evidence, and you have overruled it, and it has been right, and you have called that a coincidence. How many times does a coincidence have to be right before it stops being a coincidence? That is not a psychic gift. It is much more ordinary than that, and much stranger. It is what it feels like when something that is not limited to your timeline is looking through a body that is. And the fourth. This one is happening tonight and you have never once been troubled by it. Every night you dissolve. You lie down and the person you spend all day defending, the name, the history, the list of things you are worried about, switches off completely. It is gone. For hours there is no you at all. And then it comes back, and you are not remotely disturbed. You make coffee. Consider how strange that is. You are supposedly terrified of ceasing to exist. You do it every night without a flicker of concern. Because some part of you knows exactly what you already know, that the thing that goes away at night was never the thing that was aware. The awareness does not go anywhere. It just stops having a story to keep track of. You have been practicing this your whole life. You call it sleep. We need to deal with the word, because for some of you it is in the way. And if it is in the way, none of the rest of this can land. Some of you were raised with that word attached to a threat. To being watched. To a ledger of your failures. To something enormous that loved you conditionally and was mostly disappointed. If that is your association, then hearing, "You are God," does not sound freeing. It sounds like blasphemy, and something in your body tightens. So let me be precise, because precision is what dissolves this. I am not telling you that you are the manager of the universe. You do not control the weather. You did not design the eye. You cannot decide to stop your own heart with a thought, and you are not owed anything by anyone. The claim is not about power. It is about identity. There is one awareness. It is looking out of everything. When it looks out of your face, it calls itself you. When it looks out of the person you cannot forgive, it calls itself them. Same thing. Different window. And notice what that does to the religious objection. Every tradition worth anything has said a version of this, quietly, in its own language, usually in the part that got read least. That the kingdom is not in a place, it is within you. That the self you are looking for is the self doing the looking. That the drop is not merely in the ocean is in the drop. None of that was metaphor. It was a description, written by people who ran out of vocabulary. If the word God stays difficult for you, drop it. Genuinely, put it down. Call it awareness. Call it the witness. Call it the thing that was here before your name and will be here after it. The word was never the point. What the word is pointing at does not care what you call it, and has never once been offended. If this is true, and you are starting to feel that it is, then a fair question arrives. How did something this large stay hidden inside something as small as a life? Two ideas. They were installed early, you did not consent to either, and between them they will keep a divine being convinced it is a problem to be managed. The first lie is that you have to be worthy of it. That there is a version of you, calmer, kinder, further along, better at mornings, who would qualify. And that until you are that person, this is not yours to claim. Listen to the structure of that. It makes your identity conditional on your behavior. It cannot work that way. A thing cannot earn what it already is. An ocean does not qualify for wetness. You do not get promoted into being yourself. You have been trying to become something you can only stop denying. The second lie is heavier, and it is the one that runs your relationships. That you are separate. That there is you, in here, and then everything else, out there, and that the everything else has to be negotiated with, defended against, and won over. Every fear you have ever had is downstream of that one idea. All of it. Fear of being left. Fear of being seen. Fear of not having enough. They are all the same sentence. I am a small thing in a large place that does not have my interests at heart. And here is the part that costs you something. If separation is the lie, then the person who hurt you is not outside you either. I am not asking you to forgive them. Not today, possibly not ever, and anyone who demands that of you is not being kind to you. I am telling you what the arithmetic is. The awareness looking out of them is the same awareness looking out of you, running on worse information and more fear. That is not an excuse for what they did. It is an explanation of why what they did could never actually reach you, and why the revenge you have rehearsed would not have satisfied you if you had got it. There is still something in your hand. I can feel you holding it, so let us open it. It goes like this. If I am what you say I am, then why can I not fix anything? Why did I not save the person I lost? Why can I not pay the thing that is due on Friday? Why, if there is something infinite in here, is my actual life this small and this difficult? It is the fairest question in this whole video, and the answer is not comfortable. Because you did not come here to be in charge. You came here to be inside it. Those are opposite things, and you cannot have both at once. Think about what you would actually have to give up for the other version. If your will overrode reality, if the thought of a thing made it so, then nothing you did would mean anything. There would be no effort. No patience. No craft. No moment of holding on when it made no sense to hold on. Every quality in you that you are quietly proud of exists only because things resist you. You would not be divine in that version. You would be alone in a room where nothing pushed back. So the power was never withheld from you as a punishment. It was set down, deliberately, on the way in. What you kept was not control. It was participation. And that brings us to the thing under the thing. Because the real objection is never about money or circumstance. It is death. You want to know whether this survives. Whether the awareness that has been reading your life from behind your eyes since you were 4 years old goes out when the body does. I am not going to tell you I have been and come back. I have not, and anyone who claims certainty here is performing. But I will point at what you already have evidence for. You have never experienced the beginning of your own awareness. Search for it. There is no first moment. Your memories start somewhere, but the awareness they appear in does not have a start date you can find. And you have never experienced its absence. You cannot. There is nobody there to experience it. Whatever that thing is, it has no edges you can locate, no beginning you can remember, and no absence you have ever met. Draw your own conclusion. But notice you have been afraid of losing something you have never once been able to find the boundaries of. So what do you actually do with this? Because an idea you cannot use is just entertainment. There is no technique. I am sorry, and also I am not, because a technique would imply distance, and there is none to cross. But there is a practice, and it is almost annoyingly simple. Settle for a moment. Wherever you are. You do not need to close your eyes. Notice that you are aware. Not what you are aware of, the awareness itself. The fact that there is something it is like to be you, right now, hearing this. Now find the edge of it. Look for where you stop. Look for the boundary of the one who is noticing. You will find the edge of your body. You will find the edge of your thoughts, if you watch them arrive and leave. You will not find the edge of the noticing. Look again. Take your time. It has no edge. It has never had an edge. You have simply never gone looking, because you were busy, and because nobody told you it was findable. That, the thing with no edge, that was here before your first memory and has not aged a day since, that is what I have been talking about for the last half hour. You did not have to summon it. You had to stop overlooking it. Do that once a day. Not for 20 minutes. For 4 seconds. Find the thing with no edge. Then get on with your life. Do it for a fortnight and something starts to invert. You stop experiencing yourself as a person who has awareness, and you start experiencing yourself as awareness that is currently doing a person. Nothing about your circumstances changes. Everything about your relationship to them does. I promised you honesty, so here is the honest part. This will not fix your life. Your bills are unmoved by your divinity. The people who left will not come back because you had a realization. Your body will still age, and grief will still take you apart when it comes. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you something. What changes is smaller than that, and worth more. The floor comes back. There is something under you that circumstances cannot get at, because it was never built out of circumstances. You stop auditioning. You will feel it first in a conversation, the moment where you would normally perform, and you just do not, and it costs you nothing. Fear stops being an instruction. It still arrives. You stop obeying it automatically. And the restlessness quietens. Not because you finally got enough. Because you stopped asking a finite world to be the size of you. One caution, said plainly, because this niche is careless with it. If you are in real distress, if you are not sleeping, if you cannot function, if you are frightened of your own thoughts, this video is not treatment, and no realization is a substitute for a doctor. Being divine has never once made a person too grand for help. Go and get some. That is not a failure of your awakening. It is what a wise being does with a struggling body. We are near the end, so I will stop building the case. You came in here with the suspicion. You have had it for years, in the shower, on long drives, at 3 in the morning when the house was quiet and the usual defenses were down. You were right. You were never separate from it. You were never being kept out. There was no gate, no qualification, no version of you that had to be reached first. You are the part of it that agreed to forget, so that this moment, this exact moment, where it starts coming back, would be possible at all. The forgetting was not a punishment. It was the point. Stop begging. Start recognizing. You are not searching. You are remembering. Decode the signs. Step into your divine power. I will see you in the next one.